morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note stating that unless we heard from them that they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland, a state of war would exist between us. I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
This is London. Edward Ormo reporting. On this, the fourth day since England and France declared war on Nazi Germany, there is grave concern over the fate of Britain's newest, largest, and fastest luxury liner, Goliath, which sailed for New York just prior to the outbreak of hostilities. The giant vessel, which is carrying a total of 1,860 passengers and crew, has maintained radio silence since leaving Southampton. Meanwhile, there have been unconfirmed reports of a German wolf pack waiting somewhere in the mid-Atlantic in the hope of intercepting her. However, because of Goliath's speed, in excess of 30 knots, she should have little trouble in eluding any would-be attackers.
Traffic on the wireless, sir.
We were wise to take a southerly route. The beggars are probably 1,000 miles north of us. Chief, are we fully secure below?
Aye, Captain. I've been checking with all stations. That should be young Mackenzie ringing in now.
Good. He's a fine lad, Mackenzie.
That he is, sir. A keen eye and smart. If anything's amiss, he'll know about it. Chief Engineer.
Yes, sir, everything's under control. Yes, sir, I'm making my way down to the main engine room now. I'll report to you from there. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, hello, Bailey. Mr. Mackenzie. Bit of a party going on in there.
Not exactly, sir. A couple of youngsters. I was just checking on them, sir. They're mighty scared over all this U-boat talk. Seems to comfort them, sir.
Well, no harm done as long as they don't keep it up all night. We all need our sleep, don't we?
Thank you, sir.
Das Schiff ist in Angriffsentfernung.
12.000 Meter.
Fertig zum Angriff, Kaloin.
Alle Torpedorohre laden.
Tonnage 50.000 Bruttoregistertonnen.
Nordwest. Genau vor unserer Uhr. Fertig zum Feuern? Fertig. Feuer 1, 2, 3 und 4. Feuer 1, 2, 4.
Pressure's up on number 4. No problem. We will lead it through the mark.
Wesker, they treating you all right?
Oh, very first rate, Mr. Mackenzie. Thanks to you, sir.
You're a good worker. You'll do fine.
I never did get to thank you proper for putting in the good word for me to the captain like you did. Oh, I thought it was the noose around my neck for sure.
Oh, they stopped hanging stowaways some time ago, Wesker.
Well, that may be, but the fact of the matter is that nobody's ever given me anything, sir. You're the only one, the only one. And I love you for that, sir, and I'll do anything for you, Mr. Mackenzie. Anything.
Just do your job, Wesker. That's all.
You better come down here and take a look at this.
On my way down.
Bring her about, Seth. Aye, aye, Peter.
According to the chart, she's at 800 or 900 feet, maybe more.
How many tons?
That's hard to say.
Damn, she's at least as big as a Queen Mary.
Yeah.
Seth, can we get a list of possible liners down in the area?
I don't need a list to recognize this one, Peter. 1,000 feet long, 3 stacks, only one ship she could be. Goliath.
Goliath? This far south? I thought she went down off the Azores.
Nobody ever knew for sure.
That's right. I've read a lot about it. See, the German subs had a price on her head. Everybody knew she was taking evasive action, but she went down with all hands lost.
Goliath. Goliath. Terrific. Okay, look, she's at least 1,000 feet deep. Gampman, you and I will compress to 900 feet. That should get us to the bow anyway. We'll do our preliminary dive now. Go deeper tomorrow.
The weather's turning sour. There's a hurricane watch out of San Juan, you know.
So, Seth, we'll beat it. I mean, if we don't dive now, it might be 2 weeks, maybe longer before we get back here. Someone else could claim the salvage rights.
Far be it from me to criticize, Peter.
Then don't, Ted, don't.
But I was under the impression that we were looking for manganese deposits. For good old Magna Research and Development, mother of us all, who also happens to pay our salaries.
What is wrong with you two? I mean, don't you realize what we have here? That's the Goliath. I mean, maybe one of the most famous ships of all times. Been lost for 40 years. I mean, there's got to be millions of dollars worth of salvage down there. Right at our fingertips, guys. Now, questions? Good.
Ready to launch bell.
Let her down easy. Got it.
All right. All right, Seth, pressure, depth. Already inside.
Roger. Ready for descent.
Easy does it! Watch out for the lines there. I got it. Bring her down easy. Roger, we got her. Water contact.
Pressure looks good. Feet descending.
The weather report.
The weather's deteriorating fast up here. We'll keep you posted.
Roger.
There she is.
Approaching 900 feet and coming in over the bow. Oh, beautiful sight. She seems to be sitting on top of a volcanic ridge of some sort. All right, 900 feet. Pressure depth, 371 psi.
Okay. Off you go.
Preparing to dive.
That's amazing. She's resting flush on her keel.
Break for us. take the lead. Right behind you. Ted, stay here. I'm going down further. Roger. Be careful. Now, moving down along the hull on the port side.
How's the temperature?
Surprisingly warm, Seth. Must be volcanic activity close by somewhere. Lava flows on the ocean floor. Wait, hold on a minute. I hear something. Some kind of tapping. Almost like an SOS. My pressure gauge seems to be malfunctioning. Wait, there it is again. Someone is sending an SOS.
You mean from outside the ship?
Not sure. It sounds almost like a Treminsa.
Maybe some kind of floating debris.
Hold the talk, Seth. I'm hearing another sound. I can't figure out what this one is. It's right in here. One of these portholes. It sounds almost like, well, like music. I can't believe it, Seth. I swear to you, there's music coming out of this portal.
Music? What are you talking about, Peter?
Come back! Come back! There's a girl out here! There's a girl inside Goliath! She just looked at me! No. Come back! Damn it! Damn it, get down here! Oh, you're not gonna believe what I just saw. Well, she's down here, because I saw her. Come back. Come on back. Peter, what's the matter? There's a girl. Porthole. Goliath. I saw her dead. Seth, something's happening, Seth. I feel funny. Breathe. I can't breathe. My head. There's a girl down here. Oxygen fixed. Maybe toxicity. Gotta go back. I've gotta go back. Jeff, Peter. Peter, you okay? Call me Gage. Gage. She's alive. Alive. Peter. Peter, we gotta get back to the bell. Alive.
What's happened? What's going on down there?
He's in trouble, Seth. There's something wrong with his pressure gauge. Alive. I saw her. She's alive. Yeah, listen. We're going back. Back. Come on, Peter. We have to get back to the bell. Oh, my God. He's gone into convulsions. Get the decup chamber ready.
I am certain that I was quite lucid when I saw what I saw and I heard what I heard. Listen, all I'm asking is that someone with the proper capabilities and hardware go out there and investigate. Look, if I'm wrong, you can lock me up and throw away the key.
And if I were to give you the okay and you were wrong, they'd lock me up too, only my cell would be padded. Commander, you're a salvage officer. What'll it take to do this job?
Well, for openers, sir, we might toss Mr. Cabot here in a straitjacket.
I mean in the way of equipment.
Yes, sir.
Our most sophisticated vessel is the Point Loma, sir, but she's in dry dock and couldn't be made available for at least a month, sir.
Any other solution?
Well, if the Admiral's really serious about pursuing this charade...
I am serious, mister. And I expect a direct answer to my question, not a personal observation.
Yes, sir. The British have the equipment, sir.
The Royal Navy?
No, sir. Private outfit that has a charter arrangement with the Royal Navy for rescue and salvage, sir.
Oh, a private outfit?
Yes, sir. British Oceanics. They specialize in underwater work for the North Sea oil companies.
And you think that they could undertake this job, huh?
As good as we could, sir.
Admiral, the Goliath was originally a British ship.
It still is, for that matter.
Then that's a solution, sir.
Not so fast, Mr. Cabot. I still think this is nonsense. But I'm impressed with your candor, as I was impressed with you as a naval officer. Therefore, I'll see what arrangements can be made.
Hey, Vice President. I was wrong about that straitjacket crack. You don't need a straitjacket. He needs it.
Meet me at the car. I won't be but a minute.
Yes.
I guess you thought I'd gone bananas buying that story about that girl floating around down there, fresh as a daisy after 40 years?
No, sir. Not at all, sir.
Oh, Commander, you're going to go far. But here's the real point. When the ship went down in 1939, there was something very important on board.
What was that, sir?
A diplomatic pouch containing a document from the United States Embassy addressed to President Roosevelt personally and intended for his eyes only. It was entrusted to the care of a United States senator named Bartholomew. But what Bartholomew nor anybody else knew, that document was a forgery, forged by 2 Nazi agents who infiltrated themselves into the embassy. What's on that paper is dynamite. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could wreck NATO, at the very least. Damage our image.
You want me to recover this document?
Or, preferably, to destroy it totally, forever. After all these years, it'd be impossible to prove it was a forgery. Our president is most anxious to have this solved before somebody else starts messing around down there in that sunken hull. Now, you and Cabot will be sent on to England. Arrangements will be made through the Prime Minister for you to use their equipment.
I see, sir.
You're to speak of this to no one but me. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Take care.
There, that's got it. I've got a few of the key men together for you to meet.
Good.
And we were able to get a copy of Goliath's original plans.
It's going to be an exciting adventure, wouldn't you say so?
Sure. I wasn't hallucinating like everyone thinks.
Oh, I wouldn't pay no mind. That's what they thought about Galileo. Well, lads, here we are, our American visitors. Commander Jeff Selkirk, U.S. Navy, and the man who found Goliath, Peter Cabot.
Hi.
That burly chap there is also an American, Bill Sweeney. He's our #1 diver.
Welcome, fellow patriots.
Bill, Navy?
No, I used to work in a bulldozer factory till I got tired of chasing the nuts and bolts.
All he chases now are the lasses in Edinburgh. I'm Ed Linda.
Ed.
This here's my David partner, Robbie Cole.
Robbie?
Hi. Speaking of lasses, tell us more about the mermaid you found in the Goliath, Peter.
Ah, mermaid. That just might be the answer, Robbie.
Down at the end there, the one sucking on that smelly pipe is our ship's doctor, Sam Marlowe.
Gentlemen.
Hi, Doc.
Doc Marlowe. Besides wiping runny noses, I'm also an experienced saturation diver, so if you need me.
Thanks, Doc.
The one with the beard is Dave Miller. He's the pilot of the PCAT. That's the lockout submersible we'll be using for our preliminary dive. Well, that's the whole scruffy lot of them.
Looks like the pick of the litter to me. Wouldn't you say so, Peter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're all set to get underway whenever you're ready.
Well, let's do it. There's the marker, boy.
Now here it is. Stand by, command 4-point Moore station.
That covers my notes. Peter, would you show us again, please, where you saw that reflected light?
The light wasn't reflected. It was from inside the ship, where the girl was.
Excuse me, where you thought you saw the light.
Certainly, Mr. Selkirk. Port side, right there.
Everybody got that? All right, gents, this is the way it's going to go down. Davey, you'll be at the controls of the PC-18. Linder, Cole, Sweeney, and Doc Marlowe, you'll be in the lockout. We'll all be saturated to 1,000 feet. Peter will act as co-pilot and guide to you, Dave. Any questions?
Yeah, question. If anyone's going on an exploratory dive, Jeff, it's me. This is my baby.
Any other questions? Can we be excused? All right.
I'm diving, Jeff. You can't stop me.
Sure, I can stop you.
You're still sore, aren't you?
I'm not sore.
Yeah, you're sore. You're sore. Now that you got the chance, you're really gonna rub it in.
You want to sit down here a second, hear what I've got to say?
Listen, I wouldn't even dive if I thought I was gonna be some kind of risk to you.
Oh, really? Well, that's change.
Don't you give me that. Because you wouldn't even be sitting here right now, all holier than thou, if I hadn't waited for you outside that sub-chaser wreck in '76.
And endangered the lives of the rest of the team, we might add. You had orders. If I was late, you were to leave. Now, we were too deep with too much current to mess around with the lives of the rest of the team.
And I saved your life. And you wrote that lousy fitness report on me.
I've thought about it over the years. Maybe I should have put you up for a medal. But you knew it, and I know you don't belong in the Navy.
I'm not in the Navy.
Ah, yes, that's right. You're a new VP. I got that. Well, as far as the Navy's concerned, there's a real good reason why you're not diving. I talked to Doc Marlowe. Now, maybe you're perfectly fit, and maybe you're not. But until he says you are, I don't intend to risk anybody's life on this mission, especially yours.
Well, what you should do is talk to Dr. Marlowe again, Jeff, because I saw him a half an hour ago, and he said I was fit, which means I'm diving.
Prepare to launch PC-18.
AC-18, ready for launch.
Ready for launch, chaps? Ready for launch.
What do you compress for?
1,000 feet.
I copy. Stand by. Launch submersible.
Launching.
Steady as she goes. He's off the lines.
Headed to your side, mate.
All right, lads. Down she goes. Cast off all lines.
Turn up the gain on the sonar, Dave.
Can you hold against the current?
No problem.
Proceeding down the hull. One side. There. Fresh lava flow just beyond.
Look over there. How do you like tropical fish at 1,000 feet?
Right about here is where I heard the SOS. There. There.
Well, there's your SOS. Sorry.
There, did you hear that? That is an SOS.
Yeah, I hear it. I just can't believe it.
Dave, get us closer. Bring us down the hull a little bit.
Roger.
We are directly above the sender. It's positively inside the ship.
Dave, make contact with the hull right up touching it.
Do it and kiss it, Dave.
All right, here, give him an answer. You're a Boy Scout.
Time to try to remember how to do this. Goliath. Respond.
We're still sending the SOS.
Goliath. Respond. They must have heard us. Why else would they stop the SOS? This is PC 18. Respond.
They got a knack for rhythm, Peter. See if they answer the bongo serenade.
Hey, I'm answering. Answering! Here. Goliath. On board 3, 7. Danger. Air. Toxic. proper name, Mackenzie.
What?
37.
Mr. Whitaker, patch me through to Admiral Sloan at the Pentagon.
Right. Patch it through.
Doc, is it possible?
Well, if they went down slowly enough, it's possible they could have reached ambience. But, I mean, that is equalization with the outside pressure. But it beats me.
How are they breathing at 1,000? Whatever it is, you've been bed up for 4 years, it's got to be toxic.
All right, Dave, get us down the hull a little bit further. Maybe there's entry with the torpedoes in.
Roger. Torpedo hole.
We're coming up on a torpedo hole.
Roger, I copy.
It's in there right up tight.
We're patched through to Admiral Sloan's office, PC-18. Stand by.
Yes, sir.
Selkirk, sir.
Yes, thank you. Hello, Jeff. Sloan here.
Admiral, we've just gotten a message from inside the Goliath.
What was that?
I say a message, sir, from inside Goliath. It was Morse coded through the hull.
What's the message?
The message reads, Goliath, on board 337, danger, air toxic, beware, Mackenzie.
Read that again, will you?
Yes, sir. It reads, Goliath, on board 337, danger, air toxic, beware, Mackenzie.
Mackenzie?
Yes, sir, Mackenzie.
Hold it. Get the passenger list there.
Yes.
Are you sure this is legitimate?
Yes, sir, I am. Our main problem is toxicity. If I send divers in, I'm afraid they won't survive.
Sir.
Cabin here.
Yes?
No, sir. This is what we do. There has to be an entry through the torpedo hole. Why don't we send divers in with air sampling flasks, let them swim up through the hole to whatever kind of air bubble there is inside, take a sample and hightail it right on home. Do the analysis topside.
Jeff.
Yes, sir.
How does that sound to you?
Feasible, sir. As long as they don't take their hats off, they should be all right.
Well, hold it. There's a John Mackenzie, third engineer, on the crew list. Go ahead and be careful of the toxicity. Call me when you get the analysis.
Yes, sir.
337 people? After 40 years? I'll be damned.
All right, listen up, Linder and Cole. You can't count on more than 15 minutes in your tanks. If you haven't found a dry spot in 7 minutes, home to mother.
No sweat.
If you do find an air pocket, open up your flask, get your sample, and get the hell out.
Roger.
Lock them out. Timing, starting. Now.
All set, laddie. Hold on a minute. All right, let's go.
Copy. Watch out for those jagged edges. You go first. I'm right behind you. Shine your light up here, mate. Pretty dark in here. You okay? Never better. Look at that, poor old chap. Hasn't much skin on his bones, has he? I think there's a passageway up ahead.
What kind of time you got?
4 minutes.
I'll go first. After you. I think I see a light above us. A light? Come on, up this way.
This is a Net Alert special news bulletin. A virtual bombshell rocked the world today when it was announced not only that the wreck of the giant ocean liner Goliath has been found, nearly intact, some 1,500 miles off the tip of Florida, but even more startling, that some 337 survivors are reported still alive within her 1,000-foot-long hull. How this miracle could occur after 40 years is still not known. British Oceanic Sophisticated Rescue Vehicle Enterprise 4 is at the site and has reported that an attempt to penetrate Goliath's hull earlier today by a team of divers ended in tragedy when 2 failed to return per schedule. Neither man had sufficient emergency air supply for more than a few minutes. Both are presumed dead. The United States and Great Britain will undertake a joint rescue operation, with the other nations lending whatever support is needed. The first step was to place U.S. Rear Admiral Wiley E. Sloan in overall command of the rescue effort. Sloan, a veteran submariner going back to World War II days and godfather to the U.S. Navy's own highly developed submarine rescue systems, immediately called a news conference in Washington to announce his preliminary plans.
My flagship will be the Enterprise 4, British oceanic vessel, and my command post will be aboard the Enterprise. In addition, I have begun to put together a staff of experts to help me in this effort. Questions? Comrade Roscoff of Providence.
Thank you. Admiral, could you please explain to us why the survivors of this Goliath could not have merely swum to the surface to be rescued years ago?
It's a matter of pressure. Your body would be blown apart before you reach the surface. At 1,000 feet, which is the depth of the Goliath, it takes nearly 1 full day of decompression in a specialized chamber for every 100 feet of depth.
Admiral.
Yes, young lady.
Were there children aboard, sir?
Well, at this point, we have no way of knowing. Next. Oh, Miss King.
Can you tell me, sir, when does this rescue mission, when is it likely to start?
Not until we get enough pressurized submersibles below to bring the survivors safely to the surface. But first of all, we've got to change the atmosphere down inside the hull of the Goliath to bring it into something more compatible with what we breathe up here. I've already ordered the crew on the Enterprise to attach what we call a hot tap, which will enable us to test the atmosphere inside the hull.
And going for approaching helicopter.
that hot tap?
Hot tap has been completed, sir. Analysis shows 1.5% oxygen, the rest mostly hydrogen.
Oh, that could certainly be dangerous to anyone accustomed to surface air.
But at least not volatile, Admiral. Not even flammable, for that matter. Not with that percentage of oxygen.
Gentlemen.
Admiral?
You know, there must have been a bubble trapped up there somewhere in that hull when she went down. Commander, I want you to select a rescue team immediately.
How do we solve the problem of atmospheric toxicity, sir?
We have to risk the oxygen-hydrogen mixture. We'll saturate the divers to 1,000 feet, and at the same percentage of oxygen and hydrogen that the hot tap showed inside the Goliath's hull. That's right. Everybody that goes down will be programmed for the atmosphere inside the Goliath hull. And that means that they're stuck there till we can get everybody out.
And what if something goes wrong, sir? Suppose you have to bring us all up in a hurry.
This is strictly a volunteer mission.
I see, sir. In that case, I'd like to lead the team myself, and if willing, take Doc Marlowe and Mr. Sweeney with me.
Fine with me.
Okay.
That's 3 of you.
4.
It's agreeable. Doc?
Oh, I checked him out. He's fit.
You'll prepare to dive and make entry as soon as compression is accomplished.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
There is just one thing. There are not enough decompression chambers in the whole of Britain to handle that many survivors.
We'll have to fly them in from all over the world. Put them on a large ship, bring them out to the wreck site, diving bells included. You better start compression immediately.
Yes, sir.
Anybody who wants submersible? All stations ready. On submersible. That's all started. Cast off all lines.
Truth? Sure. For the duration. Sure.
This is Enterprise 4. What is your depth reading?
Over.
Coming up on 900 feet.
We copy.
Goliath hull coming into view now.
Approaching torpedo hole. Get me Admiral Sloan.
This is Sloan.
Ready to launch diver, sir.
Just be sure you check your come-home tanks, in case you gotta get back fast.
Yes, sir. Any more Morse contact with Goliath?
No, we tried, but they don't answer.
Thank you, sir. Suit up, guys.
Peter and I will go first. You all set?
All set. Go ahead. We're right behind you. Everybody okay?
No problem.
Anybody gets in trouble, give a holler. Let's go.
There's floating debris up here. Watch out.
I see it.
How you doing?
Fine. Don't worry.
Well, there's a sight you can write home about. Sorry you came?
Not yet. You?
It looks like a ship's ladder up ahead.
Lead the way. We'll follow.
I think we've got some sort of light up above.
Identify yourselves.
We're off a salvage vessel. The Enterprise 4, sir.
Papers?
Yes, sir. I'll have to get out of the water to show you.
Very well. But the rest of you, stay where you are.
Thank you, sir.
Jeff Selkirk, Commander, United States Navy, sir.
Doesn't look like any mermaid to me.
John Mackenzie, Commander. Welcome aboard Goliath.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure, Peter.
I must apologize for the reception, but we didn't exactly know whether you were friend or foe, as they say. And when we had our last contact with the outside world, it was on the point of being overrun by Hitler.
40 years ago, sir.
That's right.
Mr. Mackenzie, Peter Cabot. This is the man who discovered Goliath.
How do you do? Oh, yes, and the one, incidentally, who scared the wits out of my daughter. Leah, your sea creature. This is our chief steward, Mr. Bailey.
Mr. Bailey, how do you do, sir?
Delighted to meet you, sir.
Our ship's doctor, Dr. Marlowe.
Doctor.
Mr. Sweeney.
How do you do?
Good. Bill, would you get on the horn and talk to the Admiral, let him know we landed safely? Tell him the air mix seems to be okay.
You bet.
Sir, there's a question of 2 divers we sent in earlier. Can you tell us anything about them?
I beg your pardon?
Divers? No, divers.
Are you certain?
There were no divers. I know for sure.
The currents in the ship are very swift and very severe. They could easily have got lost. And it's just a mass of twisted wreckage back there. Oh, excuse me. Commander, this is Dan Wesker. I think it's safe to say that without him, none of us have survived the original storm.
Well, Mr. Mackenzie, sir, that's a lot of blarney. That's what that is. Mr. Mackenzie here, a saintly genius. He saved a lot of us. He did. God bless him. I was just following instructions.
Same John Mackenzie that was the 3rd engineer when the ship went down.
Yes.
Chief engineer now. Unanimous decision by all of the people.
Mr. Mackenzie, there are several things of importance which I'd like to discuss, sir.
Naturally, all in good time. In the meantime, you'll be wanting to change your clothes and suitable quarters, I think, Wesker.
I believe there's a cabin on G deck, sir.
Excellent. Well, you'll lead the way, will you? And I think we can dispense with the security guards.
Sir. What about the valve people?
Oh, I don't think they would be so foolish as to come into this part of the ship.
I don't know. They've been acting rather bold lately.
Very well. But just a few guards.
Dover, Cox, gentlemen, if you'll follow me, choose us, please.
Leah. You got it all?
Yes, Father.
This is our principal salvage area, Commander. As you will appreciate, we can't afford to waste anything.
The lights. What makes them glow?
They're filled with phosphorescent algae. All you have to do is add water and a small electrical current. Father worked it all out ages ago.
Bright man, your father.
Riker.
No. Still alive, are you? You're not so lucky this time, huh? But you'll never get away again. You mark me. Now, sir, shall we take him to the brig?
Yes.
All right, to the brig, boys. On the double.
What was that all about?
The bow people. Thieves and murderers, mostly. Outcasts.
And how often do you get that kind of thrill?
All too often. But now that we've got their leader, that man Riker, that'll be the end of it.
I noticed, Mr. Mackenzie, that some of them are deformed.
The results of the bends, Dr. Marlowe. From time to time over the years, some of our people tried to swim to the surface foolishly. Then they became confused, tried to turn back with the physical result that you saw. And that is why we have given up all hope of ever being able to escape.
I don't know.
Folks aren't real friendly down here.
It's because you're strangers. Never in our whole lives have we seen strangers before, except the elders, of course.
What is an elder?
The elders were on board when Goliath sank. We rely on them for all our knowledge.
I take it your father wields a lot of weight around here.
Yes, he's the president of the Supreme Council. He was elected for life.
This is G deck, gentlemen. It's very easy to get lost aboard Goliath, so remember it. Oh, and a word of caution. Be very careful, please, with your consumption of fresh water, as it's very strictly rationed.
We will, sir.
Thank you. Well, come along, everybody. Come along. We have work to do. Well, this way. These will be your quarters here. Leon, Wesker will take you back to your cabin. Extra guards, I think, Wesker.
Right, sir, right. Mum.
Please. I hope you'll be comfortable here. Under the circumstances, you appreciate it's the best that we can do.
It'll be fine, sir.
I'll leave you now to communicate with your ship. And I'll be back shortly to show you the real miracle of Goliath.
Thank you.
For your protection, gentlemen.
Understood.
How much ammo did you bring, Sweeney?
Not enough to hold off those bow weirdos. Or anybody else, for that matter.
What exactly are your speculations, Sweeney?
I don't know. Those guards, for instance. There's an awful lot of them, and they stick to us like glue.
They're for our protection.
Yeah, sure. But the question is, from what?
This was the auxiliary engine room, designed to provide power for lights, air conditioning, blowers, etc. Fortunately, it's located in the forward part of the ship and was within the air bubble that formed when Goliath went down. Open up, would you please? Obviously, we do not allow fire of any kind on board, except for the light room and the cooking area, which is specially vented. Otherwise, as you know, the carbon monoxide would kill everybody. Now, this is the single most important space on the entire ship. This is the very heart of Goliath, which guarantees our very survival from one moment to the next.
Your turbine, sir. What runs it?
Ah, over here. The designer of Goliath saw fit, in his wisdom, to provide the auxiliary engine room with its own Scotch boilers, thereby ensuring us some measure of hope. When the torpedo struck, I was aft in the main engine room with Dan Wesker. Somehow, we made our way forward to the temporary safety of the air pocket. The people had panicked, were trying to reach the top deck, unaware that it was now completely underwater. Out of a total of almost 1,900 passengers and crew, only 240 managed to survive. The captain and most of the ship's officers were gone, and the rest of us were faced with certain death as our oxygen supply ran out. But then I remembered the auxiliary engine room forward. If anything was to be done, it would have to be there. We made our way down to G deck. The lights were on, which indicated that the generators were still operating. But the key was the Scotch boilers. They had to be kept fueled.
And although Goliath had almost 1 million barrels of oil in her bunkers when she went down, we had to determine how much was left and whether the pipes that carried it were still intact. The original venting system had been destroyed, so it was necessary to put on gas masks to protect us against carbon monoxide until we could find a way later to vent it overboard. Luckily, most of the bunkers were still undamaged, as were the conduit pipes, and those that weren't, we later repaired. By my calculation, we had less than 48 hours to replenish our oxygen supply. Water being composed of 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen, the problem was solved, for the time being, by electrolysis, which separates the two. But by doing so, we were also releasing hydrogen, which was extremely volatile and could blow the ship apart. It became necessary to vent it outwards through the hull. By now, the pressure inside Goliath had equalized with the pressure outside, so the water was held back. After many hours, the job was finished, which meant we had some air to breathe. We had a shipment of barrel lime aboard, which we spread around to soak up the carbon dioxide we were breathing out, and until we could later construct a more permanent air scrubbing system.
There was plenty of food and water aboard, and the forward staterooms were intact. And now that the crucial problems had been temporarily solved, the people settled down to wait.
And here we are.
It's an incredible story, sir.
Yes, it is.
It's been sustained light for over 40 years. When can we see the rest of the ship?
Leo will show you around in the morning. And now, if you'll forgive me, I've got a great many things to do.
Excuse me, Mr. McKenzie.
Yes.
Do you have a Senator Bartholomew aboard?
Senator Bartholomew? Why, yes, we do.
Would it be possible for me to speak with him?
Of course, you'll see him at dinner. Would you see that our guests are brought to the main hall at 6 bells? Goodbye.
Thank you.
Hey, Jeff. Senator Bartholomew.
He's just, old acquaintance of the Admiral's. Not important.
The council is now in session. Bring in the prisoner. Has the prisoner anything to say in his own behalf?
What are the charges against me?
Treason against the state. 2 counts.
I deny it.
Silence.
Then show me your proof.
Bring in the witness. Is this the man who attacked you today?
Yes.
Do you testify to that without prejudice?
Yes.
Paul Riker. Once before, you were brought before this court and sentenced for treason. Subsequently, you escaped. And now, a new accusation has been brought against you. This is a particularly sad day for me. I attended your baptism. Your father and your mother were fine people. They contributed much
to Goliath. You were a friend of my daughter, Leah. You are one of our finer workers. There was even talk of promoting you to the life support room. And then you fell upon evil ways. You sinned against the people of Goliath. You became a hunted criminal. It is therefore with a heavy heart that I must reimpose the sentence of the court upon you. I have no choice. Wesker, you will see to it that the prisoner is executed first thing in the morning.
It shall be done, sir, as prescribed. The life room furnace.
Do you have anything to say? Then God be with you.
Cabot, Mr. Selkirk. Dr. Marlowe, I presume.
Excuse me, sir, but aren't you...
Ronald Bentley, at your service. Head of the welcoming committee.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome our visitors from the ship British Enterprise 4.
Right this way.
Sir, you know I watch you all the time on movies on late-night television.
You mean they finally perfected that silly little box?
Oh, yes, sir, more or less. I didn't realize you went down on Goliath.
Oh, how soon they forget. I don't suppose you could get in touch with my agent, William Morris Agency.
Imagine, why not? This place is incredible, sir. Where'd you find the plants and all the parakeets?
The florist shop. Just in the nick of time, mind you. Of course, these aren't the same bird. Like Noah's Ark, to use a romantic allusion, there were both male and female.
Commander, would you come and sit up here with me in the council, please? And Dr. Marlowe, with Dr. Goldman, I think. And Mr. Cabot, I'm sure you won't object sitting next to my daughter.
Oh, sir.
We are most passionately interested in learning about the world above, Commander.
I'll bet.
Perhaps you will enlighten us.
Hello.
This is Mr. Cabot. Senator and Mrs. Bartholomew.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Sally and Luke Crane and their little girl Beth. And this is my friend Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Hello.
Did I hear him say you're from an English ship?
Yes, sir. Enterprise 4.
Oh, remarkable. In these waters. Or is it over?
It's what over?
War?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is.
And Hitler?
Was defeated, sir.
I told you he'd lose, but you never listened to me.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, that calls for a toast. To peace. And to the good old United States of America.
Oliver, I'm afraid he's had too much of this seaweed champagne.
Not at all, not at all.
Those are octopus eyes. Is something the matter?
No. No. No, I'm, I guess just not much into octopus eyes tonight. That's all.
Oh, well, I'll get you something else. You're on board.
That you are. Did you and I have a lot to talk about, Dr. Goldman?
Yes. Dr. Marlowe, there's something I really want to know. My father was trying to escape from Nazi Germany when he came on board Goliath. He died when I was 28, but all his life he wanted to know what happened.
Your father got out just in time.
Was Hitler really murdering them?
The bastard killed 6 million men, women, and children. He gassed them in concentration camps.
6 million?
There is a state of Israel now, and Jews from all over the world live there in relative peace.
Peace? I wonder if it really exists. Even here. Look, I run a clinic on board with what my father taught me. You must come tomorrow.
Well, that's something I really want to see. I will.
Good.
Are you saying, Commander, that another great war is about to commence?
The world is uncertain, Mr. Bailey. And there have been several wars since Hitler was defeated.
And this bomb you talk about, certainly the nations have forbidden its manufacture.
They have not, sir.
What? A monstrous weapon that could destroy all mankind? But that is utter madness, Commander.
Commander, our world is certainly far from perfect down here, I admit. But I cannot conceive of yours in my wildest imaginings.
You got wars, you got sickness, you got... I suppose they still hang a bloke if he gets drunk on a Saturday night and does in his old lady.
Well, I hope I haven't painted the picture as pessimistically as that, Mr. Wesker. In fact, gentlemen, we've succeeded in putting the man on the moon.
The moon?
Yes, sir.
Now, really, that is most incredible.
The moon. Down here, this is the real miracle. And Mr. Mackenzie, he's done it all.
You mustn't believe everything that Wesker says, Commander. He's inclined to be a little prejudiced. The truth is that we can all be geniuses when survival is at stake. Thank you. Would you excuse me, Commander, please?
Sure.
Always something to do. See you later, then, Dave. Excuse me. Wesker.
How about a mother? Is she around here somewhere?
We have to prepare for Riker's execution tomorrow.
She died 5 years ago. She and Father were very much in love. He never fully recovered when she died.
What was that?
Only the volcano below.
Oh, that all.
Father says that soon it will turn the generators that make our light and water.
How?
With the heat exchange system he's invented.
Apparently your father has invented everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're enjoying the Land of War.
Please excuse me, there's something I forgot to do.
I think we'd best be getting along, too.
Yes, it's way past our bedtime. Officer likes to get up with the sun. You know what I mean, I hope.
Sarah, you're going to have these young folks thinking we're really over the hill.
We are over the hill, all of us. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Senator Bartholomew?
Yeah?
I have a word with you.
Certainly.
I brought you something else.
What?
Foul.
Of course I remember the pouch, Mr. Selkirk. It was entrusted to me by the President's special envoy to England. And even though I disagreed with its contents, I never left it out of my sight once I boarded Goliath.
And can you tell me what became of it?
Mr. Selkirk, as you can see, my husband is quite tired. Perhaps this could wait till another time.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bartholomew, but the U.S. government is extremely anxious to know its whereabouts.
And well, they might be. It was a ticking bomb, and I told that to the envoy at the time. But he insisted that I deliver it personally to the President.
My orders come directly from him, sir.
FDR? Well, don't tell me he's still alive.
No, sir. His current successor.
Oh.
Oliver, why can't you sit down? Please. Mr. Selkirk, he must rest.
Oh, my dear. He's a naval officer. He has his duty to perform.
Thank you, sir.
It was lost. In the sinking. We haven't seen it in over 40 years. Now will you leave in peace?
Is that what happened, sir?
Tell him, Oliver. Tell him it went down when the Goliath went down. Tell him.
Yes, that's what happened. It was lost in the sinking.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry to disturb you both.
Oliver, if only I could get something for you from the hospital.
No, not that.
Not that.
What is that?
Probably the current.
One of Riker's men shoot first.
Why are you here?
I couldn't let them kill you.
You know what you have to do. Do it.
Now, here's what we've got on Mackenzie. He graduated top of his class, Royal Maritime Academy, 1937. Patented a dozen gadgets before he was 19. Episcopalian. Grew up in Richmond, Surrey, England.
What have you got on his Irish sidekick, Dan Wesker? He seems to be one of the original survivors' engine room crew.
Wesker? Not on the sailing list. Wesker, you say?
Wesker, W-E-S-K-E-R, I believe. Seems to have a lot of authority, throws his weight around.
No, we'll check him out. Thank you, young man.
Yes, sir.
Jeff.
Yes, sir.
What about the pouch?
Sir, the senator survived the sinking and is alive.
Oh, good. But does he have the pouch?
He says it went down with the ship, sir.
Oh, well, thank God for that. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Excuse me, sir. That is, if we believe him.
What do you mean?
I think he's lying. Seems to be afraid of something or someone.
I'll call you back 1400.
Yes, sir.
Well, how's my good friend, the Admiral?
He sends you a hug and a kiss.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Stay tight on the box, will you?
Mm-hmm. Sure thing. Hey, what'd you say these round black things were?
Subcutaneous mutant. I drop in his family, 3rd Division ocular.
No kidding. Sure beats topside chow, huh? Our date.
Not our date, buddy. That's your date. We're just coming along for the ride. Shellfish, Sweeney, don't worry.
Good for the eyesight.
Well, Miss Mackenzie.
If you don't mind, you can direct me to the ship's hospital. I promised to see Dr. Goldman. And I've got to make arrangements for the inoculations.
Inoculations? What for?
Earthborne viruses, Mr. Wesker. They could be deadly to your population, and we don't want to take any chances.
What's that?
Don't worry. We've already cleared it with Mr. Mackenzie.
We'll be all right. You can leave us now.
Oh, it's orders, Mr. Mackenzie. That bow person, Riker, he's escaped. Your father's very upset. Some traitor got the key to his cell and let him go.
The hospital's on the next deck down at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, thank you. Leah, where's everybody heading?
To work. They don't want to be late. It's forbidden. And this is our hydroponic garden. Up there is where the majority of our food is grown, without soil. Only desalinated, brackish seawater is used. But the nutrients in it allow the plants to grow. Father visited such an experimental farm before he sailed from England, and he applied what he learned here.
And I suppose this was all begun by taking sprouts from the original stores?
Yes.
This was the ship's pool.
Yes, we use it as a fish hatchery now. We've developed many of our own strains. The people you see are called agri people. They're trained as children and work here all their lives.
Does that mean they can never change?
Not unless they're elected to the life room. The most important of all are the life people. It's their responsibility to tend the boilers and operate the turbines and generators. It's a great honor to be a life person. You have to be a member before you can be elected to the Supreme Council.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Thanks.
It's good.
Did you learn everything from your father?
Yes, he was a brilliant man.
Seems that Goliath has more than its share of brilliant men.
You're thinking about Mr. Mackenzie.
From whom all blessings flow.
You know, I have a great curiosity about your world. I can't imagine what it's like at all, in spite of everything we've been taught about it.
Well, it might disappoint you, but I hope not.
Do you have much illness there?
Yes. There are many enemies we haven't conquered yet. There's cancer, the common cold.
Oh, we don't have anything like that here.
No illness at all?
Oh, minor complaints, of course. But our isolation has protected us. In the beginning, many died. But now we have a strong population with natural resistance.
Which reminds me the reason I'm here, aside from your charming company, of course. We brought along some serum to inoculate the people against any viruses that we might introduce ourselves.
Does Mr. Mackenzie know about this?
Surely you don't think we'd do anything without his permission?
Of course not.
Are you married, Dr. Goldman?
No. No, I'm dedicated to my work. And Mr. Mackenzie thought I would be more valuable doing this. Are you?
Yes.
Oh. Children?
3.
Oh.
You were here before, when you entered the ship. We call this our sea garden pool. Sally and Luke are called aqua people.
Hi, Phil.
Hi.
We've worked down here since we were children. In fact, it's over there that I proposed to Sally.
It's very romantic. I remember I was straining plankton at the time, and I fell in.
We had to have permission to be married, of course, and to have a child.
It's a great privilege. We were very lucky.
Who decides who's lucky?
The Supreme Council. Mr. Mackenzie.
We must go and let you get on with your work.
But I haven't told you about the pool yet. This was originally the first cargo hold. It was badly damaged. The salvage people managed to pump it out.
Salvage people?
A work group, too. They reclaim sections of the ship for the people's use. My friend, Maria, you met her?
Sure.
She works with them. We find clothing and clocks. Sometimes even jewelry. Of course, we all fight over that.
Do the fish always come this far inside the ship?
Sometimes they do. Then we really do celebrate.
This thing's been good to us, Peter. We even make our own medicine from algae. Father says there are some things we know down here that you don't know up above.
I'll bet on that.
I really think that we should go now.
Why are there guards always around?
The bow people steal our food. It's for our protection. Isn't that right, Mr. Westcott?
Well, that's right, very right. We look after our people, we do.
Miserable.
No. We should go.
Plankton string. I'll get you on.
Don't forget Beth's birthday party later on. All right.
What is this?
Let me see. Oh, yes. Well, there is one scourge on board Goliath. Palmer's disease.
Palmer's disease?
Algae-based bacteria. Named after Mr. Palmer, the first victim.
Have you a cure for this disease?
No, but fortunately the end comes quickly. Fever, coma, and then death. So, when would you like me to arrange for the inoculations?
Well, the sooner the better. We can do it together.
Fine. Boys or girls?
Pardon me?
Your children?
Oh, 2 boys and a girl.
There's Maria. We mustn't stop her working.
Maria, move along there.
Don't be moving, boys. Get all those mattresses there. I'm begging your pardon, Miss Kinsey. Yeah, not to worry, child. Not to worry.
Don't touch me.
Oh, on. We'll be taking good care of you, child. Good care. Come on. Look, we go. Nice. So take her to her mother's room.
I'll go with her.
You see the look on that girl's face? She was terrified. Tell me, what is going on around here?
I don't know. But I don't like that Western.
Come in, Mr. Mackenzie.
Maria? How are you feeling?
Where's Mama?
I'm right here, darling.
What did Dr. Goldman say?
She can't walk, Mr. Mackenzie. It seems that the fall must have injured a nerve in some way, just temporarily.
I can walk tomorrow, Mr. Mackenzie. I promise.
Of course you will. We'll have you up and about on your feet in no time at all.
I can work in the aqua pools. I don't have to stand there.
We'll find some place, don't you worry. As a matter of fact, Leah is going to look after you herself. Now, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Now, the next time I see you, I want to see a big, big smile. No more tears. All right? Good. I think we should go and see Dr. Goldman together.
Oh.
Your mother's only going to be away for a few minutes, Maria. You'll be all right, won't you?
Yes, Mr. Mackenzie.
Is it Palmer's disease, Mr. Mackenzie?
It's possible.
Mama? Mama, is that you?
I do hope you're feeling better, child. There's no need to be afraid, little missy. No.
I was sore for a week after that one. No matter how many times they've seen it, they're always surprised at the end when I kill the dastardly count.
I take it your film is the only one they had on board, sir.
The only one that survived. A captive audience, you might say, for 40 years, and never a gray hair. Oh, the legs aren't what they used to be. By the way, did you have a chance to speak to the Admiral about me?
The Admiral, sir?
The William Morris office, my agent.
No, but I will, sir.
Mr. Bentley, may I have your autograph?
Oh, no.
Me too, Mr. Bentley.
Oh, well. When they stop asking, I'll start worrying. Here you are. Ronald Bentley.
Thank you, Mr. Bentley.
Now, with 50 of these, you can get one garbo. octopus ink. Fortunately, it'll wash off before dinner time.
Thank you.
Well, where's the cake?
I'll just go and get it.
Cake? Cake? You have cake? What do you use for flour? Don't forget it. I don't want to know.
This is Father's favorite record. It was salvaged from the sinking.
Oh! The elders taught us to jitterbug. Do they still do that where you come from? No, we have something called the disco, but I don't know how to do that either.
Am I too late for the party?
No, Father. Sally's getting the cake. How's Maria? Can I see her yet?
Well, she's sleeping now, but you'll be able to see her in the morning. Now, where is the birthday girl?
Here.
Ah, yes. Beth, isn't it? Well, Beth, I brought this for you. It used to belong to my wife, and I want you to have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mackenzie. Can I have the box, too?
Of course. Paper box is much more valuable than a necklace, isn't it? And I just happen to have in my pockets one or two other little... How did you know they were for you? For you? For you? Oh, you all have for everybody.
Mackenzie, sir.
Yes, Wesker?
Excuse me, sir, but could I have a word with you in private, sir?
Of course. Excuse us children.
I get the feeling no one likes Mr. Wesker very much.
But you can see how devoted he is to Father. Someone has to do the hard things to make a society work.
And you believe that?
Yes, of course.
Leah, I'm afraid I have some rather bad news. Maria has taken a turn for the worse.
Oh, no. I have to go to her right...
Leah, Maria is dead.
Dead?
It was Palmer's disease again. Absolutely nothing we could do.
Excuse me.
Oh, Commander. I understand that you're looking for a diplomatic pouch.
Yes, sir, I am.
I'm sure you realize by now that there are no secrets on board this ship.
I guess not.
In fact, what Senator Bartholomew told you was absolutely correct. The pouch and its contents were destroyed when the ship sank.
I see, sir. I'll deliver that information to the Admiral.
All right, children, let's all down.
Thank you, Beth.
Sally told me I'd probably find you here. I thought maybe you could use some company. Can I get you anything? Leah, I am not too sure I understand any of this. But it's never easy losing someone you love. What's important is what you remember about Maria. Your memories, that's what matters. That's her legacy to you. Because life goes on. You want me to leave?
No. Do you know what happens to someone when they die on board Goliath? They're placed in the furnace, in the life room. You shouldn't have come here.
Yeah, sure.
What do you mean she died? All she had was a broken leg. I examined her myself.
Some kind of virus they got down here. They call it Palmer's disease.
Oh, yeah. I saw the slides in the infirmary.
And what is it?
Well, I don't know. Poisonous reaction to some kind of algae? I just don't know.
What about the inoculations?
Dr. Goldman and I started them this morning.
Boy, I hate to have a bunch of dead bodies to bring to the surface.
Well, so would I. I'll be in the infirmary.
Stand by.
Admiral Sloan.
Admiral Selkirk here. We've confirmed 337 on board, sir, although we did have a death last night.
Death?
Yes, sir. A little mysterious, called Palmer's disease. We're checking on it.
What about the air mix?
No perceptible change, sir. We're monitoring.
Right. We're doing everything we can on those decompression chambers. A dozen nations have flown in everything they can lay their hands on. They've been loaded aboard a ship at Southampton. It's on its way.
Understood, sir. Don't worry, we're stable.
Good. Call me back at 0800.
Yes, sir.
Well,
The ETA for the Orion passage is daybreak tomorrow morning, sir.
and what about the backup?
Let's pray we never have to use it.
The girl simply took a turn for the worse and died. There was nothing I could do about it. It was Palmer's disease.
But then it wasn't complications from her fall.
Not directly, no. Although we have discovered that the disease tends to attack people who are already weakened by sickness or injury.
But not always.
No, the last case was a year ago. The patient was mentally distressed, suffered a nervous breakdown.
Does it ever affect children?
Oh, rarely. Only 3 times that I can remember. Each time it was a godsend. Well, one of them was born with a rheumatic heart, and 2 of them were deformed.
And what about the elderly?
Yes, they do seem especially susceptible.
Dr. Goldman, I was wondering if I could assist you in your autopsy.
We don't do autopsies.
Don't?
It's forbidden. There's no refrigeration aboard Goliath.
Oh, yes. Well, then perhaps I could examine the body.
It's already being cremated.
Without any services?
A brief one. Conducted by Mr. Mackenzie.
Oh, so he takes care of your spiritual needs as well?
Yes, you could put it like that.
Well, it's not going to cure Palmer's disease, but I suppose one can always hope, can't one?
Well, he certainly seems to have grown a bit. Have we any new ones?
A batch came in earlier from the Aqua people, sir. A couple we haven't seen yet.
Well, I think you better throw that one back. It's not quite ready for the kitchen yet.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. Mr. Mackenzie.
Oh, Mr. Cabot. Well, what do you think of our world on Goliath now?
I tell you, I am very impressed.
I thought you might be. Has Leah shown you our heat exchange system yet?
No, sir. No, she hasn't.
We intend to tap the energy source of the volcano that lies immediately underneath us. Once we've done that, all Goliath's energy problems will be completely solved. Imagine what that means, Mr. Cabot, to be able to tap such resources. We will be a completely self-contained world.
Sir, what was it you wanted to see me about?
I understand that Leah did not return to her quarters last night, and I was told that she was with you.
Well, she was quite upset about the death of her friend Maria.
Yes, of course, of course. Mr. Cabot, Leah is very innocent in many ways. You know what I mean? Many years ago, when she was much younger, she was very close to Riker, but nothing more, you understand. I always hoped that she would find somebody one day.
Well, I'm sure she will one day, sir.
I hope so. I certainly hope so.
Sir, the bow people, characters like Riker, I'm not so sure I understand much about them.
Every society has its rebels, Mr. Cabot, those who want something for nothing. They didn't fit. Of course, I can understand your concern. After all, we both come from nations where democracy is highly valued.
With circumstances, I suppose that's necessary.
It is, Mr. Cabot. It is.
Now, you were elected, Mr. Mackenzie.
Yes, by vote. Somebody had to take charge, and I suppose they thought that I was the logical choice at the time.
Yes, sir. Tell me, do you ever regret, or regret's not the right word, anyway, 40 years that you've lost, sir?
Lost? We haven't lost anything, Mr. Cabot. On the contrary, we have gained the richest and most rewarding experience imaginable. Which makes the prospect of leaving almost unbearable.
Surely, sir, people here will want to be rescued.
Yes, yes, of course they will. And yet, you know, I can't help feeling that if a spaceship was to land upon Earth from another planet, and the aliens said to the people, "We have come to rescue you," the answer might be, rescue us? From what?
Father asked me to show you his heat exchange machine because I love to come here. The water's so warm. Father says it's heated by the volcanic plume from beneath the hull.
You know where I come from? That's called a hot tub.
Hot tub?
Hot tub.
That's a funny name for a pool.
Yeah, well, funny or not, that's what they're called. Only people get all the way in.
Oh, it would be too dangerous in this pool. Father says that the currents are very strong and they pull you right down.
Father says, huh? You ever have an opinion of your own, Leah?
Sometimes.
Well, does Father also say that his heat exchange machine will never work? You know, with all their technology on the surface, our scientists still haven't figured out how to make one work. They abandoned your father's approach a long time ago.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's not his fault, though. He's already performed miracles. This whole ship is proof of that.
He's worked so hard and so long. And he's been counting on it, you know that. Ah!
Well, a little while you'll be rescued. Then you won't have anything to worry about.
Rescued? Frightens me. Will I like your world, Peter?
Like it? Hell, you'll love it. Leah, remember when I described to you what a cloud was? Big and white and fluffy, and how it hung up there in that big blue sky? I forgot something.
What?
The sun. You've never seen anything until you've seen the sun. Yeah, it's bright yellow. When it hangs up there in that big blue sky with all those white fluffy clouds alongside it.
Makes you feel great. Makes you feel warm all over. Yeah, you'll love it.
It sounds beautiful.
Oh, it is. It is.
You should go now, Peter.
Doc, just about to make contact with the Admiral. How long would you say this is going to take?
Barring any complications, most of the day.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Commander.
Good morning, sir.
I must apologize for the delay. Wesker and I thought we would set a good example and be the first to be inoculated.
Well, as you can see, sir, you're a little late. We've just begun.
Well, nevertheless, we wanted to reassure everybody that there's nothing to be afraid of.
What's happening? What's wrong? What is it? What's wrong? Help me get it, Ben.
Wesker!
Anyone come here in the first place? Help get those other people out of bed. Jeff, tell Goldman to stop giving the shots.
No more, Doctor. Seems like a strong allergic reaction to the serum we gave him.
Hold on, folks. Just take it easy. Nobody else is going to take it.
Yes. That's what it must have been.
You're in my world, high up in the bow. These are my compatriots, poor dumb fools who tried to swim to freedom. It's only fresh water, stolen from the life room. Everything up here is stolen. We managed to survive.
Beats working, right?
Now that depends on who you're working for. An old man who made himself king? What do you want from Riker? Talk. We've been trying to talk to you ever since you set foot on this ship. Make you listen to what we have to say.
All right, I'm listening.
Good. There's something I want to show you. Okay, what is it? You flip this, and you can set it in motion. If you keep it wound, it'll work for over 24 hours.
SOS.
Or you can take this. Goliath. On board, 337. Danger. Air toxic. Beware Mackenzie.
Beware Mackenzie.
We didn't dare transmit any more. We couldn't risk his guards finding this.
Mackenzie is the reason you, all of you, are alive.
For how long? How long are we alive? Fuel bunkers are almost empty. Mackenzie's been lying about his heat exchange system for years. It doesn't work. It'll never work.
But that doesn't matter anymore because pretty soon you'll all be rescued.
Rescued? Rescued? Do you really believe that you, or me, or anybody else is ever going to get off this ship alive?
Yeah, I do. Why not?
Mackenzie's such a genius. Why do you think he stopped trying to figure out a way to get to the surface?
Because it was impossible? Because it's a technology we've only recently just developed? That's why.
Even if that's true, I think he needs us down here. What kind of world's up there with nobody depending on him anymore for every breath of air, every scrap of food, hmm?
Then you tell me why no one has challenged him to change the system.
How? With armed guards walking around and people believing how great he is. Ended up in jail if you did. Like me. Or worse. You suddenly die of an affliction peculiar to Goliath. Mysterious affliction called Palmer's disease. And always fatal. Tell him, Leah.
No,
I said tell him!
It's true, Peter. The past 40 years have taken a terrible toll on Father. You see how they worship him? They can't think rationally anymore. He told me only yesterday the heat exchange was working. He made me promise not to tell. It was to be a wonderful surprise for the people.
So what do you suggest we do now?
Don't ask me. But whatever it is, it better be quick. Otherwise, you're going to end up like those first 2 divers they sent in.
Doctor?
All dead or dying. There's nothing I can do.
It's got the bloody smell of death, it does. It's your serum. That's what done it.
Or perhaps it was Palmer's disease, Mr. Wesker. Wouldn't you say so, Dr. Goldman?
I'm not sure.
We'll take some blood samples and do an analysis. Give me a hand, Jeff.
Why don't you take a break? You've been working all day.
No, I'm fine. Really.
Well, at least it looks like the worst is over.
I wish I could be sure of that.
Maybe you... Is there something you'd like to tell me?
No, nothing. I don't know what caused it.
I believe you. I believe you.
I'm all right now. Let's go back. Sorry.
Jeff, are you sure there's no mistake?
No, sir, there's no mistake. Let me give you on to Dr. Marlowe.
Yes, sir. The factor in the serum that caused the deaths is an algae-based poison. There's no way it could have been contaminated on board ship topside, so it had to have come from Goliath.
Then someone deliberately sabotaged it. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, sir, and it alarms the hell out of us. Although I can't say it comes as much of a surprise.
Have Sweeney stand by, run the tests again, call me at 1500, and put Selkirk back on.
Yes, sir. He wants you.
Yes, sir.
Jeff, we checked out Wesker. Very little on him. We did find a Daniel Wesker wanted by the Dublin police. A petty thief, beat up an old man who later died. But Wesker escaped jail before the trial. Hasn't been seen since.
Sounds like the kind of guy who might be doing Mackenzie's dirty work.
Look, take care down there, will you?
Thank you, sir. Where the hell have you been?
The bow.
Oh, while you've been up in the bow playing Casanova, we got trouble.
Oh, you got that right?
The serum we administered was poison. We're gonna have a lot of fatalities.
Yeah, well, for your information, Mackenzie has no intention of letting anyone leave Goliath alive. And that includes all of us.
If there are any traitors aboard this ship, it is the bow people. They are the assassins. Certainly not us.
Sir, I have talked to Riker myself.
Ah, a bloody thief and liar. Ah.
You ought to know, Wesker. Got a criminal report on you.
You're daft.
And we've confirmed the fact that the poison which contaminated our serum could only have been manufactured aboard the Goliath.
Sir, what the bow people confirmed is what you and I already know. Goliath is almost dry. You have maybe enough fuel to last a month, no more.
I've already explained that. We have all the power we need. The heat exchange system will solve all our problems.
No, sir, that is not true. Your heat exchange mechanics will never work. Your approach is a dead end.
That is simply not true. Ask anybody here. Ask Wesker. Mr. Bailey.
Yes, sir.
Haven't we had a life crew working on the mechanism non-stop?
Yes, Mr. Mackenzie.
We don't need the bloody oil. We don't need the likes of you.
Somewhat crudely put, gentlemen, but the truth, nevertheless. Now, gentlemen, we have all reached an irrevocable decision.
Which is?
Our people do not wish to be rescued. We have heard what your world can be like. Battles, bombs, war, death. And we reject it.
Reject it?
We ask only that you leave us here on Goliath, that you leave us in peace.
I'm sorry, sir, that's out of the question.
I insist that you do this, Commander.
Sir, the truth of the whole matter is Paul Riker was right. You don't plan to let anyone leave Goliath alive.
It's not what I want. It's what the people want.
No, sir, you have created a society, but you rule it like a god. Survival of the fittest. The weak, the old, sick, they die. they contract some kind of mysterious virus. Palmer's disease. And it kills them. You know, if they can't work, you don't want them eating your food or breathing your precious air.
The people have been entrusted to my care.
Then you tell the people about the rescue. You let the people of Goliath decide whether they want to live or die. Unless, sir, unless you don't have the guts to take that kind of chance.
Commander, I must apologize for having lied to you earlier.
About what?
You will recall that I mentioned a certain diplomatic pouch was destroyed when the ship originally sank.
That's right. I take it you've got the document.
Top secret for the President's eyes only. I'm sure that Mr. Roosevelt would have been deeply concerned by the contents of this letter, as indeed I was when I read it, and when Wesker first brought it to me.
And how did Mr. Wesker come about this document?
It is to the credit of Senator Bartholomew that he was able to keep the existence of this secret for over 5 years, until Wesker discovered its existence. And then Wesker was fortunately able to persuade the senator to part with it.
As if the senator had any choice.
All in the common good, Mr. Cabot.
What's your point, Mackenzie?
My point, Commander. I propose a deal. If your admiral will call off this ill-advised rescue mission, then I will hand over this to you immediately.
Otherwise?
Otherwise, I will reveal its contents to the entire world.
Mr. Mackenzie, you're a great man, sir. A lesser man could never have done what you've done and hold it all together as long as you have. However, your bargain is beneath contempt. The President of the United States will reject it. Admiral Sloan will reject it. And I, for them, here and now, reject it.
Very well. Mr. Wesker, would you go and tell the people to assemble in the main hall tomorrow morning at 7?
Well, but sir, what?
Would you tell the people now, Mr. Wesker? Now! You see, gentlemen, I am not quite the barbarian that you appear to think.
All hands, manual special C, anchored and moored detail.
The Orion passage has arrived.
Oh, right on time. Thank you. Have her stand by and prepare to launch the diving bells. Pressurize PC-16 and have her crew compressed to descend to 1,000 feet.
Right.
Any word from Goliath?
Not yet. I was thinking of, with your permission, sir, of transferring to the Orion passage. Run things that end.
Oh, good idea. We want to be ready when Selkirk gives us the green light.
We will be.
Now hear this. Now hear this. We are on condition to go. Check all systems. All diving officers report to water room.
Is everyone out there singing? If you are, then it's sure that happy days are here again.
Yes, come in. Ah, Wesker.
The people, sir. They're all assembled in the main hall.
Mustn't keep them waiting, must we?
Beg your pardon, sir, but, could I have a brief word with you?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
No, you're not gonna let them take the people away, are you?
Supposing that they won't listen to me, Wesker, then what?
Well, not listen to you, Mr. Mackenzie, not listen to you. They love you. They'll do anything for you. You've got to save us all, sir, just like you did before. There's trouble up there.
This crime they speak of, what was it?
No crime, sir. Lies, bloody lies, just like everything else.
But you don't want to go back, do you? You know, they treat you like a hero up there, no matter what you'd done. Even if you'd committed murder.
Nothing for me up there, sir. Nothing.
Nor for me. We've created a very special world down here, you and I. And I don't intend to let it die.
All right, and we all got that so far. A relatively short swim from the Sea Garden, through the passageways, out through the hull, to the waiting rescue vehicles. Any questions? Yes, Mrs. Bartholomew.
How far do we have to swim underwater?
About half the length of the ship. But you will have divers with you. You'll be wearing these kind of breathing masks, and there will be a guide rope to follow. It'll be safe.
What will happen once we're inside the rescue vehicles?
You'll be taken to the surface and then transferred to decompression chambers for several days until your bodies adjust to the surface pressure.
And we won't blow apart like the others or be crippled like the bow people?
No, it will be perfectly safe.
It'll be a little uncomfortable for a while, but that'll only be temporary. It'll be all right.
But I can't swim. Why can't I stay on board Goliath?
Because, sir, because very soon there will be no power source left on Goliath. And life here, as you all know, it will cease to exist.
I don't believe that.
I can't believe it.
You have been listening to these gentlemen telling you at some length and most persuasively about their rescue plans. And now I am sure that you all want to hear the truth. And the truth is that life will continue aboard Goliath for you all.
Of course he is.
I have just been examining the heat exchange mechanism, and I can assure you, you have my word on it, that it is functional.
How can you tell them that? Listen to me, people. His heat exchange machine will never work. Never!
Minor problems, Mr. Cabot. Minor problems. Nothing more. My friends, you must not go with these people. You must stay
Here.
We know what their world up above is like. It is a dangerous world. It is a hostile world. There is still sickness. There is still greed. And there is still war.
We're happy on Goliath.
Down here, we have stability. We have order and trust.
Up there, they will treat us like oddities. They will exploit us as scientific curiosities.
Oh, how terrible.
He's right.
What he's saying is right, you know. It's all right. How do we know? How do we know that they're not going to treat us like some bunch of zoo?
Create a bit of a stir. That's true. After all, you've survived on a sunken ship for over 40 years.
And they're going to want to look at us. They're going to want to touch us. They're going to want to feed us bloody peanuts. It's what?
I guarantee that nothing like that's going to happen.
He guarantees. Oh, listen to that, will you? He guarantees. When I was a boy in Dublin, we had this freak sideshow. Oh, it was popular, so popular. It had these Siamese twins and this... That's what we're all gonna be. They'll poke their fingers at us through the bars.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
There is no more to be said. The people will now decide.
Then you let the people decide. People of Goliath, listen to me. Listen. You have all been lied to. Understand me. If you stay here, if you stay, you will die.
To go to the surface. This side of the room. Those who wish to come with us. On this side of the room. Let's go. Right here. Organize here. Don't panic. Slowly. Don't panic.
Commander, yes, this may be the last chance I have to say this, but I lied to you about the pouch.
I know, sir. Mackenzie has it.
We had no other choice, Mr. Selkirk.
I understand.
I hope the President understands.
I'm sure he will. It'll be all right. Just be safe. Familiarize yourself with this helmet.
Calmly. Calmly. No panic.
Peter, Lear's not going.
What? Come on, you're going with me.
No, I have to stay with Father. He needs me here. I understand the situation, but he's my father.
It's hopeless, Leah. This whole thing is hopeless.
I can't leave him here. It has to be this way. Please.
I'll be back for you.
No!
All right, you think Sweeney's down there? He should be there by now. He's at the pool, got supplies.
Mr. Mackenzie, what should we do?
Help us decide, Mr. Mackenzie.
Whitaker, everything down below's gone crazy. We're bringing up everybody we can.
Right, Admiral. We'll be ready. All hands.
Start firing up those decompression chambers. We're going to have lots of company.
Now hear this. Commence all rescue operations. all submersibles and diving bells. Proceed with all dispatch to join PC-16, which will be on station outside Torpedo Hole. All rescue divers will proceed into Hull and make contact with Commander Selkirk and members of his team. Guide groups will be strung and divers will escort survivors through the hull to appropriate vehicles waiting outside for transportation to surface.
Closer. Stand by.
You got that line there? Yeah, it's secure here. Catch it right about here, will you? Roger. No problem. You better tell them topside we're gonna need some more lamps. Got it, got it. Boy, it's dark down here.
You all have plenty of air for the short time you'll be underwater. Again, remember, relax and breathe naturally. Enjoy your trip.
Okay, just follow the guide rope. Whatever you do, don't let go.
You know this. All right, just stick with the divers. They'll get you into the bell.
Okay, once inside, you'll be able to remove the breathing apparatus. How we doing here?
Oliver, I'm very frightened. I never did.
You just follow close behind.
You'll be just fine, ma'am. Take your hand and just hold on to your husband's belt right here once we're in the water.
Oh, all of this at my age.
More reporting here, sir. Glad to have you aboard, Moore. Is your unit out there and fully deployed?
Yes, sir. Are they ready?
They're about as ready as they're going to get. You're going to start with this group behind me, including the 6-year-old.
Yes, sir. Okay, we're going to take these people first.
Our daughter's too small for that equipment. She's barely 6.
Nothing to worry about. Hi, my name's Jim. What's yours?
Beth.
Well, Beth, you and me are going to take a little swim together. All right?
Right. Now listen. Not a soul is to leave this ship alive. It's Mr. Mackenzie's orders.
All right, Moore. Move him out.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Now, don't worry about anything. Beth and I will be right behind you. Okay. That's it, baby. Breathe in and out. That's it. Just like we've been practicing.
Hey, these guys are about out of here. Clean it up, and I'm going to get Leah.
I want to get Leah. All right, go ahead, Romeo. Just...
Sorry, we couldn't get here sooner.
Sam, what are the casualties? 3. 2 dead, 1 wounded. But I think I can stop the bleeding long enough to get him up top.
Right. What can we do to help?
All right, organize your people. Get them into this equipment.
Mrs. Bartholomew is starting to panic, but I think she'll be all right. I'm heading back for the next group. You start them up topside.
No.
Sir, here's a towel for you.
What is your name, sir?
Senator Bartholomew.
I have a message from Admiral Sloan for you, Senator. Your daughter, Sarah? She's alive and well. She wants you to know you have 2 very grown-up grandchildren. A boy and a girl. We're waiting up top to see you.
All right, we're full. Take us up.
Still got no contact.
Keep trying. What about the 16?
Still in position, sir.
Tell the 16 that we've lost contact with Commander Selkirk.
Wesker!
I ruined it, Mr. Mackenzie. All your work. Look, don't you be troubling yourself over me. Save yourself.
Save? What do you mean, save?
The people at the pool, we tried to stop them. Open fire. But them bow people, they stopped us.
You opened fire on our people?
There's no one those pigs to take your people away from you, sir. That's the way you wanted it.
I wanted it?
You didn't want your people to leave. You said so yourself, Mr. McKenzie. You're the only one. You're the only one who ever treated me like a human being. I've always loved you for that, sir. Always. And you begged the people not to leave you. But there were those who chose to go. And I knew what I had to do.
My God.
Them two divers come poking their noses in where they weren't needed, where they weren't wanted.
Divers? You killed them?
It was my job, sir. It was my job. You always told me, didn't you? The most important thing of all is the survival. Didn't make any difference who had to die. Like them old people. Them kids who were crippled. If they couldn't work to feed themselves, then they had to go.
The inoculations.
Not gonna be parading us in no cages, Mr. McKenzie.
Do you realize what you've done? They'll come down here now with guns. With guns, and they'll force us to abandon Goliath.
Mr. McKenzie, you're the only one. I was only trying to...
No, Dan. They will never parade us in cages.
Somebody came rushing in. Said there'd been a shooting at the pool. Wesker and his men.
Yeah, that's right. Where is Mackenzie?
I don't know. Why?
Why, Doctor? Because one way or the other, he has decided you are all going to die.
You can't possibly mean that.
Yes, ma'am, I do mean that. For years, he's been murdering people, and you've known about it.
Yes, you have, and you've condoned it.
My father, he started it all. The Supreme Council insisted. When he died, I didn't want to know. I couldn't face the truth.
So you let Wesker and his thugs do it for you, just like the Nazis.
It was a matter of survival. There were too many mouths to feed.
Any of you who have changed your mind, it is not too late to get the hell out of here.
What can I do to help?
You can organize these people into groups of 15. They can't all leave at once.
Listen, people. Everybody who wants to go, come over here.
service, sir, with a full load of survivors.
Hey, there she is.
She's looking good, all right.
Oh. But if you don't mind, Mr. Bascom, I'll save my cheers for a little bit later.
Yes, sir.
Open up. Out of here, out to the main hall, quickly. Everybody, out! Out of here! Out! Out! Everybody, out! Get on with it! Hurry! You two! Come on, woman, hurry up! Up to the main hall, fast as you can.
All right, guys, we got real trouble. Mackenzie's gone berserk. The life people say he's cut the lines on the reserve oxygen system. Oxygen's leaking into the atmosphere. If it reaches 4%, this joint is going to blow a hole in the ocean.
Everybody! Everybody! There is a totally new danger. All of us must prepare to leave Goliath immediately.
Why?
Because this ship is going to blow up.
Where is Mr. Mackenzie? He'll know what to do. Mackenzie's not coming. If he were going to be of any help, he'd have been here by now.
Those of you who want to leave, make a choice. There isn't much time. Those of you who want to live, come on over here with Dr. Goldman.
We remain here for Mackenzie. He has been the means of our survival for 40 years. He won't let us down.
Sir, he already has let you down. Look, what does it take to convince you people that if you stay here, you're all going to die? Do you hear me?
Don't argue with them now. We'll let them change their minds later. First job is to get the rest of these people who want to go out.
Leah.
You going back after her?
Yeah, I'm going back after her.
Hey! I'm going to wait as long as I can, and no longer. Don't get me killed, Pappy. I got Diane waiting in San Diego, you remember?
What can I do to help? My forte was playing heroes, you know.
Thank you, Mr. Bentley. You can be very helpful right now. Lead these people down to the Sea Garden. People, follow Mr. Bentley. Anybody who's ready to go, follow Bentley. Sam, Dr. Goldman, you're going to pick up stragglers. Be down there quick.
Yes.
Everybody else is coming. Come along.
Only moments ago, the first of the rescue vehicles was taken on board the mothership, the Enterprise 4, where she will be mated with decompression chambers for the process of acclimation to the Earth's atmosphere. Meanwhile, down below, a crippling blow to Goliath's air system has made rescue critical for those poor, misguided souls who chose to stay behind. And at what price? Only the next few hours will tell.
Take the slack off that line. Secure starboard line. Secure port line.
Not too fast on the crane!
Leah? You have to leave.
The ship is gonna blow up.
It was Father.
Where is he?
They said he's gone to the hydrothermal pool. I should be there with him.
No, no! If he wants to die, you let him. Destroying your own life is crazy.
Right this way. Form a nice queue right over here. Sweetie, what have we got down there? Raymond, is it going smoothly? Sweetie.
Near as I can figure, 5 standing by and 4 submersible.
How many places is that?
It's 18.
18. Be exactly sure about the number you send down. And keep them safe. Make sure they're waiting for equipment, wait for the divers.
You bet.
Mr. Bentley here is going to help you to organize.
Stay with me.
The ship's going to explode.
Oxygen levels at 2.5. When it gets to 4, this whole ship goes. Name, please.
Louise Mary.
Over here! Over here!
Hoist the line up there, boys!
Watch out for the dinghy! Roll the line down this way, Mike! Ready up here!
Tie it off, will ya? Kevin, you must hurry.
Grandma's hiding. She can't hear a thing.
She'll be all right. Now get your masks on.
I can swim with her. I'm not afraid. Well, thank you, Grandma.
Don't worry.
Just as we taught you in the pool, young. Just hold on to that line. There's a diver up ahead. He'll guide you.
Okay, take care of these folks. Okay, how's everything in here? You okay? You get the special Guppy Award, good buddy. Okay, take off.
Hold on to that line.
Stay with the divers, you'll be all right. Okay, pal. It's your turn now.
Me?
Yeah? All your people are gone. You're the only one left.
What about Leah and Peter?
So they're okay. You just worry about getting out of here.
Name, please. Charles Zimmerman.
Relax. Get me in. No.
Keep on moving, folks. Are these the last?
Yes, that's it.
All right, we're going to have to leave right now. Explosion. Keep moving, folks.
Lee? You must go, both of you, before it's too late.
Too late? It's already too late. There's nearly 50 people up there who have elected to stay here and die with you.
50.
Isn't that what you expected? Fortunately, the majority had the sense to see you for the murderer that you are.
No, you're wrong.
Then you go tell them to leave.
I couldn't do that.
Why? Why not?
Because they're my people. The idea of them being exploited in your world is intolerable. This way is much better. All gone in one split second. No suffering, no pain.
You are not God, Mackenzie!
Please, Father, come with us to tell the people.
I have made my choice. But you must both go. But remember one thing. Remember what has happened down here.
Sir, the only thing that has happened down here is that you have been responsible for the death of innocent people.
Have I?
These are the papers that your government wanted so badly. The real infamy is here, in these pages.
Your presidential envoy was afraid that Britain would not be able to stand up against the German assault. So, in order not to take the risk that the Royal Navy would be lost to Germany, he recommended to your president that the United States Navy would open fire on the British ships and sink them, regardless of any loss of life. The document and the maps with it, showing all the different locations of all the different British vessels, wasn't delivered.
As you know, and England survived.
So who is the greater criminal? Why should I believe that life up there in your world is any better than life down here in Goliath? No. No. It's too late. Too late.
Come on, there's not much time.
I'm going to have to help you put this on.
No, I've decided to stay.
Why?
This will be easier to deal with.
Easier than living?
For me, yes.
Come on, get into this. You can always kill yourself later. Put your...
No, Doctor. I really have decided.
I believe you.
Ciao, bello.
Have a nice trip, Doc. But don't drink the water.
Sir, capsize.
Go. All right. You're next, Sweeney. Now, I'll stay put and wait for you guys. Come on, it's time. Let's go. The job's over. Was that in order? You bet. You next, sir. Watch for stragglers. All right, Mr. Bentley. Suit up, sir.
Sorry, old boy. I'm staying here.
Mr. Bentley, if you stay, you're going to die.
I know. I didn't believe a word of that claptrap Mackenzie was handing out.
Well, then why not come, sir?
You people mentioned you watched my old films on television. That was the real me, young, vibrant, everybody's hero. The way I want to be remembered. Every good actor knows when it's time to get off. But you let my agent know, will you, old chap?
Yes, sir. The William Morris Agency.
You remember? I always did have trouble with my lines. Much preferred sword play.
Selkirk to command.
Where the hell have you been? What's your status down there?
Everybody's out who wants to get out, sir, except for Cabot and the girl.
What about those crazies in the main hall?
Sir, I begged them. They're not going to budge.
That's all you can do. All right, secure that station. Get your butt aboard the 16. It's the last elevator.
Sir, I gotta wait here for Cabot.
That's an order, Commander. We've already lost too many lives. I can't risk any more.
Right, sir. Securing this station.
Still equipping. Thank you, Uncle Jeff. Come on, Leah. Come on. Put this on. Come on, give me your arm. Help me, give me your arm. That's it.
Who gives the mighty ocean deep its own appointed liberty? Oh, hear us when we cry to thee, on the sea. Oh, Lord, whose voice the waters heard, and hush their raging at thy word. Walkest on the foaming deep, and amid the storm didst sleep. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee, for those in peril on the sea.
Breathe easy.
Come on, damn it, it's now or never. What about Peter and Leah? They're still down there.
Commander says we got a surface, Skipper.
Sloan, this is Selkirk here. You all set, Jeff? I'm in the PC-16, sir, but I'm waiting for Cabot and Leah.
Surface, Commander.
Sir, according to my calculations, we got at least a couple of minutes before we gotta get out of here.
That's cutting it too close. Surface.
Hey! Hey! Watch it!
Commander! Respond, Commander!
Sir, your transmission's garbled, sir. Repeat, I did not hear you.
You'll read me loud and clear. Surface.
Get a little closer, Blue.
Skipper, the Admiral.
Get us closer.
Skipper wants us in there as close as possible.
Commander, respond! Commander, I insist that you respond!
onto me. That's it. We'll make it. What are you doing? Stop fighting me, will you? Relax. Just relax.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
Calm down. Just take it easy. Oh, okay? Okay. Ah, Riker. Riker.
Listen to me, Leah. It's not far. You can make it. You can make it.
Come on. Let's go.
Here they come. Stand by.
Come on, Romeo. It's about time. Here. Here we go.
Commander, this is my final order. Surface now or face court-martial.
Surfacing, Admiral. Watch your toes.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. All right, Romeo. You took your time, didn't you?
Wait, pal.
Don't thank me for waiting.
Listen, you ever decide you want a real job? I know a corporation that just may be interested.
And give up Navy pay? Forget it. I'm going back to San Diego. I got ties in San Diego, yeah.
Yeah, San Diego. Magna's got a home port in San Diego.
Why don't you settle down?
Why don't you get over here and keep this blanket around her?